Hey everybody, this is HD Shapes here. I'm back with another video. First of all, I hope everybody out there is staying safe and following their local government guidelines for when and if you should be going outside. Definitely, this is impacting everybody worldwide, right? So let's all do our best and again, follow the directions of the people that likely know more about the spreading of this disease than we do. So that's my COVID PSA. Now then, let's get into the shave, huh? The main attraction of today's shave, you could say, is this above the tie, ATT as they call it, S1. The S refers to the slant nature of this razor, and the 1 means that it is a solid comb rather than an open comb, or solid bar rather than an open comb. These razors are handmade right here in the USA. They've been around for a number of years now. This particular razor is made out of all 303 stainless steel. The craftsmanship on this razor is just absolutely beautiful in my opinion. And I picked this up a number of weeks ago from a friend. And to tell you a little bit more about this razor, again, the slant aspect, if you take a look at that blade, there's more of the blade revealed on this side than this side, and if you turn it around, you would notice the same thing. Additionally, this is their Atlas handle, as they call it. It is roughly 3 inches in length, and it has this barber pole pattern here. And I find that it's very easy to hold and comfortable and all those things. This is the satin finish of this razor, which means that the steel has been bead blasted. It's still not a polished finish by any means. It's still, you know, closer to the matte side of things. But overall, you know, again, I think the construction of this razor is just wonderful. In terms of how it shaves, it is one of those razors that certainly feels more mild than it actually is. Because of the slant geometry, placing the torque on the blade, it does cut differently than your standard DE razor. So I'll talk more about that throughout the shave today. But yeah, so the above the tie S1 here, there hasn't been a review of this razor on YouTube in a number of years, and I think that's a shame because this is a really great razor, and I think some of the newer people that get into the hobby are missing out by not trying the S1. Other items to talk to you about today, I'm using the same JohnB Dogwood Handcrafts Timberwolf knot brush. This brush has continued to be really nice for me this week. The handle shape has worked out really well, and I haven't really noticed it this week. You know, it's just been doing its job in terms of building lather, and also doing its job in terms of not cramping up my hand and just being very comfortable overall. So continuing to be very happy with that brush. And then the soap for today is Zingari Man's the Nomad in the Sego base. So this is a rather generous sample container that Heather handed out at the Louisville meetup in October of 2019, where I got to meet Heather and some other cool members of the shaving world. And this was when she was just debuting her Sego base. So I have reviewed the Sego base previously on this channel when I did a video using the Magician. But to let you know about some of the important ingredients in this Sego base, of course it has beef tallow, it has castor oil, palm oil, jojoba oil, oat bran oil, shea butter, olive oil, coconut oil, daikon seed extract, goat milk, coconut milk. So chock full of great ingredients in the soap, and the scent itself, it's a little hard to see there, but it says sweet bay, lime, and rum. Now, this is a very wonderful modern take on the traditional bay rum scent. If you're expecting this to if you're expecting this to smell like the traditional Clubman Pinot bay rum thing, it's not going to smell like that at all. It's much sweeter, as the name implies, and it's just a very sharp citrus, you know, lime and sweet bay up front for me, and then in the background you could smell just a tad of that rum, but it's not a boozy rum at all. It's just a kind of nice rum aura, whatever that means. So I've really been enjoying using that soap this week. I mean, the scent is just fantastic. Finally, we're going to be closing out the shave with the Chatillon Lux Unscented Post-Shave Toner. I actually ordered this from Chatillon Lux after meeting them in person, also at the Louisville meetup. So yeah, today's shave is a little bit of a nice memory of being back in Louisville in October. So I'm gonna wet the face, start loading up the brush, and I'll be back in a sec. All right, we're back, and I had a bit of a sample pressed into this bowl here. Loaded for about 15 seconds with a damp brush, added a little bit of water to the bowl, and loaded for another 15 seconds or so. You got to be careful with Sego not to overload it too much without adding some water to it, because it is notoriously thirsty, and you could be spending quite a bit of time adding water to it. So let's see how I did on the ratio here. Okay, got a Personna Red in here on its second use, and I'm going to start with the first pass. Okay, first pass done. Something I kind of mentioned earlier was, because this razor feels more mild than it actually is, you can easily overshave a bit if you're not mindful of your technique and not going over spots too many times. And so earlier in the week, I definitely did do a bit of overshaving, and I paid for it a bit. But 2 days ago when I shaved last, I did a little bit better by, again, just being mindful of not going over areas too many times and things like that. So I'm gonna rinse and then come back for pass number 2. So for the second pass here, I'm actually going to do a little bit of a hybrid pass between what I would do on my third pass, so there will be a little bit of south to north action. With this razor, again, at least the way I'm using it now, you don't necessarily need 3 passes to get a really close shave. So I'm going to see if I can achieve that here, just in maybe 2 passes and a light touch up. So here we go. All right, and that's it. So as you saw, second pass there, did a little bit east to west, west to east, across the grain, did a little bit against the grain, and then just a couple touch-ups in my usual spots there at the very end. And very, very close shave, you know? Because of the slant geometry, it does make for a very efficient razor. And at this point with my technique with this, because this is my first slant experience, there's no reason for me to go any further, really. I mean, is it totally baby butt smooth? Probably not. I mean, definitely not, but it's still a very close cut, and yeah, I've found that, again, at least for this week, going 2 passes with some touch-up is better than going 3 passes and getting some irritation. So on that note, I'm gonna rinse and then come back and talk to you over post-shave. For post-shave, once again, as mentioned, the Chatillon Lux Unscented Post-Shave Toner. If you're not familiar with their aftershave products, the difference between the toner and the aftershaves is that the aftershaves do contain alcohol, whereas the toner does not. Following the directions that Sean lays out on his website for how to use this, there are some little particles floating around in here, which is maybe the calendula extract or the cat's claw bark extract. That's kind of hard to say. Because of that, you need to give it a good shake before you use it, and wait until you see that the solid pieces in there have kind of formed a bit better with the liquid. And he recommends that you keep a damp face because there is no water added to this formula, so it is quite concentrated, and you only need a couple dabs here. A dab will do you. It's got a good restrictor on there to make sure that you're not getting out too much at once. Go together like this. And proceed to apply. So it is unscented, but I do get a slightly sweet medicinal scent, at least upon first application, but that does go away very quickly and doesn't bother me at all. Almost like honey sweetness. Yeah, again, it is very concentrated, and I can already feel that my face has absorbed, I don't know, 90% of it. It just leaves your face feeling quite nice, and I don't feel any kind of tightness after first application. And yeah, it just leaves me feeling great for many hours after the shave. And again, I'm not a big alcohol splash guy, so this is sort of the nice common ground for me in terms of still getting the liquid post-shave, but not something as heavy as a balm or a salve or something like that. So very nice. Let's do a quick recap. Talked about the toner, Zingari the Nomad. Fantastic soap. I really like the scent. I think this is my favorite soap scent that I've smelled since Declaration Grooming Puzzle from 2019. So that's saying something. I get my nose on a lot of tubs of soap, and this one just really speaks to me. I don't have too many citrus scents in the den, so similar to what I said about the Puzzle soap in terms of soaps that have vanilla in them, maybe this is my sign I need to get some more citrus happening in my shave den. So very happy with that soap. Definitely going to be picking up a full tub when I'm able. So the Above the Tie S1, great razor. You could do just 2 passes like I did. You could take it for 3 passes perhaps after working on your slant technique. And I really like this razor. I think it's a shame that there haven't been many reviews of this razor in the past couple years. Even though the design hasn't changed at all, it's just, I feel like this razor gets underrepresented in terms of the videos and reviews that are out there for different razors. I think it certainly punches up with the best of them, like the Rockwells and the Carves and the things of that nature. It's just, again, it does have that slant going on, but as one of my colleagues said, this razor is sort of slant light. It's not the Bakelite fine slant design where the head is totally, for lack of a better word, kind of messed up. Whereas this, if you kind of looked at it real quickly, you wouldn't think that it was a slant necessarily until you get into kind of closer inspection on it. So yeah, I really think this is a wonderful razor. I'm going to use it again next week to see if I can have any technique revelations while using this razor, and really happy with it. Finally, the Dogwood Handcrafts Timberwolf knot. What can I say? Again, so good. It didn't even cross my mind this week during shaves. Just using it, again, doing its job of building lather and doing its job of being comfortable to hold. So really glad I got this brush in a couple weeks ago, and definitely going to be using it for a long time to come. So that's it for today. Thank you all for watching. Shout out to the people who made it this far into the video. That's a big achievement. So again, I'm going to continue with the S1 next week, and then also going to be using a Chatillon Lux Declaration Grooming collaboration soap, which I don't know if I've used one of their collaborations on this channel before. So I look forward to doing that. And as everyone's saying, stay safe and stay inside, and see you next time. Bye.